Hey everybody, this is Glidercat and it's time to play. We are back in Angel Mountain working on our massive challenge to save up 10 million liters of every product on the map and in all the different Old Man's 102 mods that we've got installed. This episode we're bringing sheep in. I think we've got about 28 sheep. We'll drop these guys off. They're just the baby sheep, so it'll take a while for them to produce. But we've already got a decent amount of wool outside of our sheep pen here. Let's drop these guys off. Then we'll talk about plans for this episode. We got quite a bit of stuff to do. A lot of stuff that's kind of queuing up here. Between episodes, I did a ton of mining and trucking things around. I sold some stuff. You can see our bank balance is up to 1.8 million, a little more than that. Sold all kinds of things, mostly oil and oxygen, hydrogen. Also sold some molasses. We always get good money for that. Whoops, keep hitting the wrong key here. Let's grab these guys. 38 of them. Nice. These guys moved in. That brings us up to 863 sheep. Not bad. Most of them are still pretty young, though. They're not reproducing yet. But it'd be nice when they do. Go ahead and park this trailer. We need to do chickens this episode as well. I'm going to do chicken purchases with our sheep for a while. I'm going to go close that door. Boom. And then while we're here, I might move this little stray pallet I bumped into. Let's get this guy out of the way. Oh, just ruined another one. We'll move that one too. Let's plunk this guy right there and get this other one that looks out of place over here. We do not have a fabric factory yet. Right now we're producing wool fairly slowly, but eventually we'll definitely want to get the mill that produces fabric from that wool, or we could save it off. Ooh, how's that trailer looking? Is it? Yeah, it looks pretty clean, pretty good. All right, yeah, next up, let's do, I'm going to hook up to this trailer, and then let's do our chicken purchases, and then we'll pay off our debt. Snap this guy in, boom. And then I guess we can just hop out and run over to the chicken coop. It's not super far away. Out on the fields, we've got, if you look over kind of bottom right on the map, we have field 31. That's been harvested. We got almost, I think, 1.5 million liters of wheat off that field. And so we're bringing in straw. I've got a worker bringing in straw. I've got a worker fertilizing, and I've got a worker that's mulching and plowing. The straw on that field, we have literally, I think we're going to pull more than 10 million liters of straw off of that field. So we're going to have to find something to do with straw. We'll talk about that in a minute too. All right, let's get the max on these. I think it's 60, right? I don't forget. Yeah, 60 is the max. We'll get 60 of the little ones. 60 of the mature ones. And then 5 of the roosters, just for fun. I don't know if we even need these at all, but we'll get them. And then let's teleport ourselves over to the other chicken coop on top of Angel Mountain. Where are you? Is that you? Oh, we need to turn on animals. Let's see, can I teleport over to the train station? I don't think I can. No, I got to turn on animals. Let's do that. Hotspots, animals, chicken coop, visit. Turn that map off since we're done talking about that. We've got some eggs here, it looks like. Same thing as before. This time we'll start with the roosters. We'll do 5 of those. Go to the little baby chickens and grab 60. And then the adult chickens. Awesome. How many do we have in there? Let's see. 1,360. Yeah, so we're doing pretty good on those. Eventually they'll start reproducing on their own. I don't know what we do. Do we sell? I guess we can sell them later, right? Yeah, we can just sell them directly from here because I don't have a trailer to transport chickens and roosters. I imagine we could find a modded trailer that would take them, but I'm kind of not planning on bothering with that. All right, let's pay off debt while I'm thinking about it. I'm going to stick with 20 grand. I'm tempted to do more, but let's just stick with 20 for a while until we're done buying fields and things. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's all taken care of. Let's go look. I'm going to tab over to the helpers on field 31. Show you what's going on over there. There is our straw collector. And he is super duper far away from the from our field silo. You can see right next to him if I hop out. Boom. This part right next to where he's working has been fertilized. It's got one application of fertilizer on it. And then this guy is doing our plowing. He's been busy forever, he or she. Looks like, I don't know what's in there. Who's in there? Looks like a he's in there, plowing and mulching for us. And I'm doing the plowing just to make it so we don't have to do weeding. Don't have to worry about it. And he can plow at the same time he's mulching. What else? We've got another worker that's kind of sitting idle on that field. Here he is delivering the straw. This guy here is kind of doing fertilizing. As the guy that's picking up the straw gets out of the way, he's doing fertilizing. And then the plow is super duper slow. What do we want to plant on this field? So, man, I spent a bunch of time thinking about it. It kind of came between doing wheat again, oats, or potentially sugar beets. So oats we can make flour out of, and I think we still get straw off of oats, and we can use oats for cereal. So I think eventually this field is going to become an oat field. But I think what I want to do next is actually sugar beets. If we look at the big map, take a look. And I'll turn off animals so we don't have to look at all these apiaries that we've got. Where are you? We just had them. Boom. And let's look at our existing sugar beet fields. I think we might have 2 of these. No, we only own 1 right now. So that, let's see. Yeah, we own 45 as a sugar beet field. And that is it, right? Yeah, that is the only place we have sugar beets going. We do, while I have this display up, we are planning to buy field 34, and we'll get a bunch of sugar beets off of that field. That one is going to be 2.3 million. That might be our next, it's not going to be our next land purchase. We'll talk about that in a minute. Our next land purchase is actually going to be up here, so we can get coal and a power plant built. Don't think we'll do that this episode, but soon we're going to be buying this field. Let's take a look. And that's going to give us sugar beets. But let's take a look at where that's at as far as its growth phase. I think it's got a ways to go. Yeah, that's in its, 3rd growth phase? We got to get through this one and then one more growth phase. And then we'll buy it. I think we'll be buying this one soon. Finally, we'll be buying it soon. So we're going to get sugar beets there. But I'm thinking of still doing this field in sugar beets because we get good money when we sell molasses. And it's going to be a while before our other field. Well, let's look at the molasses price. I'll show you. We've been making really good money off of that. See if I can find it here. There it is, molasses. Look at this. We get over $700 per 1,000 liters of molasses at the Wonder Worm. And we can transport 200,000 liters, right? Because it's in pallets. We can use our curtain-side trailer. So whenever I take a trip over to Wonder Worm, it's like $150,000 of cash. That is super nice, and I want to keep that gravy train flowing. So I want a good supply of sugar beets. If we let's look at the businesses while we're in here, the production lines, and we'll go to the sugar house. So we've got 177,000 liters of sugar beets left to process. I just delivered between episodes molasses and sold some. We don't have a full load in there yet. We don't have many more sugar beets to process. This processing's not too bad. It moves fairly quick. It sure seems like it. So I'm running out of sugar beets. If we look at our one sugar beet field and check out the growth phase of that one, this guy's only in his second growth phase, so it's going to take a while before this guy's even ready. And I want to keep that sugar house just pumping out molasses for us. We're going to need it for the bakery and that. In fact, we have some in the bakery. But so we've got multiple uses for sugar beets. We can use it for our pig food. Eventually, we'll be making pig food and bringing pigs onto the farm. And then there's some other businesses that use, in addition to selling molasses, there's some other businesses that use it. If we look at I think it's the bakery. There might be one more. Maybe it's just the bakery. Take a look. Yeah, the bakery takes molasses, 791,000. And then eventually when we get into doing fish food and fish processing, we'll be using molasses to create fish bait as well. So I've got quite a bit of molasses loaded into the bakery. Bakery is waiting on milk products. So that's an issue. But we are trying to bring in, dairy cows every other episode. So yeah, I think what I want to do is get this field planted in sugar beets. Let's get that started. I brought over a planter. See if I can find it. I think I have a tractor. I hope I have a tractor hooked up to it. Yeah, this guy right here is all set to do sugar beets. Let's set up a course and get it started. Half of this field is ready to plant. If we have to stop this guy halfway, that's fine. Once it comes to harvest time for sugar beets, they're going to take forever to harvest. So it's fine if we end up with a couple different growth states within the same field. Let's do it. Let's get a course going on this one. Here, create job. We have to kind of remember to use the same planter for these fields. Or if we're in doubt, we'll have to just create a new course because I've got another planter that we used for corn that's not nearly as wide as this one. All right. We want target position up here. Getting a little bit of lag. And then field position here. Wait for this thing to register. Then we'll open the course generator. Let's just generate a course, see what we get. That looks good, actually, right? Yeah, start on stops on that end. That's fine. Starts here. I just want to be far away from our field silo and work our way close to it. That way we can do kind of what we're doing now with having workers, have multiple workers in the field. Working in the same direction from the far side of the field to the side that's closest to the field silo. So that course looks good. Let's save it. Boom. Save course. And this is field 31. Field 31. This will be plant sugar beets. Boom. I think we're good there. And then let's turn this guy on and see where he ends up. We want first waypoint, plant sugar beet. I think this guy's all set to do his maintenance and everything. Let's see here. Open HUD with mouse we don't want on. Let's see if we can find it. I guess that's fine. Oh yeah, we've got across all of the vehicles, horseplay is set to automatic repair and refueling. So we should be good. Looks like this guy's starting to plant sugar beets. That is awesome. This is going to be a lot of cash for us once it comes time to harvest, but it's going to be a while. It's going to take a while for that stuff to grow. All right, that guy's going. We'll keep an eye on him. But he's got a ways to go. He's moving pretty fast, though, actually. Let's see. See how fast he actually goes. Not bad, 11 miles an hour. Like he's moving pretty quick. He's making faster progress than this poor guy. I'm not sure. I could set this guy to drive a little faster. We'll just take a quick look. This is, I think, course play. Do we have a speed control here? Field work. Maximum speed while working on the field. Maximum speed while driving on the field. Let's kick this up to like 20. Close to 20. Maybe that'll speed things up. And hopefully not create problems. Alright. That's done. This guy is waiting. The plow is not too threatening. He moves pretty slow and doesn't cover a big wide width. So those guys shouldn't collide for a while. Next up, what is it? Oh, straw. Remember I mentioned we have tons of straw coming in? Like over 10 million liters just from that harvest alone on that field, that single field. We have a bunch more wheat to produce. We have a bunch more straw producing crops. So I was looking at what can we do with all that straw? If we look at the sale price of straw, it's not compelling. It's pretty much nothing, right? So $60 at the spinnery for straw. So for a whole load for what? I think our trailer holds like 60,000 liters. So it's like, I think $3,600 or something for a whole load of straw if we go sell it at the spinnery. And it's a long drive. It's not really worth selling, I don't think. I mean, we could. But what we can do is we could turn that into compost fairly easily. In fact, the composter I don't think takes any fuel or anything. You just dump in the straw and eventually compost comes out. Let's see where that's at. Hopefully I didn't just scroll by it. Here it is. Compost. So compost, we get 2 straw. We get 2 compost for every unit of straw. And then the straw itself sells for more money over here at the Wonder Worm. $90 a liter. It's still not, I mean, $90 for 1,000 liters, right? That's not a lot. That's not a lot. What does that get us to? Maybe $5,400 or something for a load, but we get 2 loads for every load of straw we put in. So what I'm thinking of doing, we have so much to get rid of. I'm thinking of actually building a new compost plant or compost factory next to the Wonder Worm sell point, and then starting to load that thing with straw. Let's go take a look at where that's all at on the map. If we head over, our Wonder Worm is down in this area. And I don't want to buy this business. I want to keep this as a sell point. This is where we're selling that molasses for such an awesome price. Let's go visit that site. Take a look around. Here it is. This is where we drop off our molasses. And this is where we could bring compost. We have a composter on the main farm, right? It's where is it? It's up here somewhere. This guy. And this one happens to be loaded. Let's look at it. Here is their composter business. I've been bringing straw over from that field. Between episodes, I brought a ton. 60,000 liters at a time. And so the composter currently has 1.25 million or 1.26 million straw. Holds 5 million. And it's producing compost for us. I've been taking the compost and putting it in the greenhouses. This guy is going to be busy just supplying the greenhouses and our 2 orchards, and then also working on the 10 million liter objective. And it's decent. We get 2,400 cycles per month, or 24,000 cycles per month. But we have a ton of straw, like tons and tons. And then also, we're going to get twice as much compost for the straw that we put in. So that means for however many loads of straw we bring into the composter, we're going to have twice as many loads of compost. So that means twice the many trips, twice as many driving from the main farm over to here. Whereas if we just put another composter building kind of nearby here, we can just bring the straw in a single trip, and then make 2 little tiny trips to sell it over here at the Wonder Worm. So I'm thinking that's what we should do. We're going to need to buy this land, and it's a little tricky. It seems like we got a bunch of land right here that I think we're going to buy. We'll clear the tree or two if there's a tree in the way and put a composter here. Start loading it up with straw. Yeah, it's not going to add up to a ton of money, but maybe over time it'll make a little bit of a difference. The thing that's tricky is what piece of land is this? So if we look on the map again, let's look at the map and see where we're at. We're down in this area. That's as far as I can zoom in. Kind of keep an eye on where I'm at. So there's a little bend in the river here, where it gets a little more narrow. I'm kind of right above the part that's past this curve. I go into farmland. I guess I'm here on 30, right? Just trying to figure out which plot of land I need to buy. This one, 87,000. Can I fit a composter in there? Or is it the one next door? And it looks like there's almost a gap between these that we're not going to get to own. I guess we buy this one, and if there's a problem, maybe I can squeeze it in over on the left side. So let's do that. Let's buy this land, 87,000. We've got plenty in the bank. We want to buy all the land on the entire map anyway. So this will count towards that if we can't build here. And there is a little room on the other side too. It doesn't really matter where we put it. Let's see if they let us place it. Production, and we want to go all the way to the end and then find the composter. Boom. How much is this? 80,000. Will they let us build it? Yes, they will. Awesome. Let's clear. Do we even need to clear the tree? Oh yeah, we're real close to where we don't own the land. And this one has kind of a goofy entrance too. We got to kind of come in on an angle. Overlaps another object. We definitely need to get rid of that tree, and then I think we'll be good. Let's do it. Just get the chainsaw out. We'll move the tree off to the side. Hopefully we can get this one. Yeah, it's not too big. I'm going to use the chainsaw to take out the stump. First, I want to move this out of my way so I don't accidentally grind that to nothing. All right, that is cleared. Let's move the tree. This guy out of the way. Boom. And let's put our new composting factory right next door. We may end up putting 2 over here at some point. We'll see. We'll see. All right. It is right there. Yeah, if we did put 2, yeah, we would probably stack them in a row or something like this. I'm just going to put this guy in parallel. You can be kind of close. Maybe we could get another business in next to him later. Let's pop this guy. Right there. I like it. All right. So now we've got a new compost building. Again, this doesn't take anything to any fuel or anything, which is kind of nice. We just got to bring the compost in. Here it is. Nope, that's the old one. The new one is up top. And this thing's good to go. Bring in the straw. Out comes your compost. We don't need extra compost, so we don't need to bring sawdust or potatoes or any of these other items. Wood chips. Wood chips for sure we're not going to use for compost. Oh man, do we need wood chips? That's a task for another day too. We may get another field planted with poplar since those things take forever to grow. But yeah, good deal. All right. Let's get back to the main farm. All right, we are back at the main farm. In between episodes, one of the things I did was I started mining some salt. Let's take a look at the production lines here. I'll show you what I'm working towards. if we look at the dairy in particular, the dairy actually holds 1 million salt. We had a little bit in there, maybe like 1 or 2 truckloads. And between episodes, I've been pumping a whole bunch more salt into here. Looks like we're up to like 500,000. I would like to get this topped off or close to topped off. We need another almost 450,000 liters of salt. And then right next door is the fermenting house. And this too could use a little more salt, about 250,000. In addition to those guys needing salt, there's some more businesses that need salt, but not much. Let's take a look. I think we have the nut house. That might be it, actually. The nut house is pretty full. I can't even get a full truckload in there. That thing is all set. Thought there might have been one more, but maybe not. But anyway, so yeah, I want to start hauling some salt. I've already got the wheel loader over there. And if we look at our main farm silo, I think we still have maybe about 1 million more liters in order to hit our 10 million liter objective of saving up salt. Let's take a look and see where things stand here. Gotta hop into our main farm silo. And let's look at the display, see what it shows. So coal is done, ore is done. Sand is super close, right? 800,000 liters. We might be doing sand here coming up in the next couple episodes. And then we've got salt there sitting at 9,043,000. So we need 1 million more salt. So what I'm going to do, actually, we can look at the map. Our salt mine is over here. There's the wheel loader sitting right at the salt mine. I'm going to mine salt, take it over to the dairy. Boom. While we're over here in this area, roughly, I'm going to go make a trip over to this field silo over by field 31, pick up a load of straw, drive it all the way back to our brand new compost building that we just put down, and start loading straw into that composter. Then the next load, I'll come back, pick up salt, this time deliver it over to the farm silo where we're at now for our 10 million liter objective. While I'm there, I might actually, once we drop salt off there, I might actually make an extra trip. It's kind of out of the way. But make an extra trip way over to field 10 here. We've got a farm silo that is loaded with grass. All the grass that we cut around field 10, I need to bring that in. And there's no good time to do it. And if you just do it, just bring in trips of grass one after another, it gets really, really boring. So I'm going to weave that into our whole salt mining. So again, mine some salt, drop it off at the dairy or the fermenting house, pick up straw, take it back. Whoops, take it to here, drop it off into the, over here, drop it off into the composter. In fact, maybe that's the time to go get the grass. Drop it off the composter, go get grass, come back to the main farm, drop off the grass, and then do another loop like that. I think that's what we'll do. And then the next load of salt will come directly to the farm silo, like I said. And then after that, we'll just go and get more salt and drop it off to the dairy. So yeah, I'm going to do a bunch of rounds of that. It's going to take a while to get this done, but we'll move some straw, we'll move some grass, we'll get some salt saved up towards our 10 million liter objective, and we'll start topping off the dairy and the fermenting house with salt. So we won't have to do that later. While that's going on, I'm going to try and keep an eye on our planter here that's planting the sugar beets and make sure it doesn't overrun where we've plowed. We should be okay. That, where's our other helper? There should be another helper here somewhere. I'll have to take a look. Maybe one of them stopped. But that's the guy that is planting this. This has got to be the guy that is doing fertilizer, I would guess. What is this guy doing? Let's go check. There's our fertilizer. It is stopped. Oh, that's the plow guy. Yeah, the plow guy is close by. So I'll keep an eye on all these workers. I think our straw one may have stopped. Where are you? There's the planter. He's moving along, planting those sugar beet. Okay, no, there's our guy. I guess he was just off of the screen, so we couldn't see him. But yeah, he's going to pick up straw. That'll go on the background. I will monitor that, and then we'll do this salt mining in a time lapse. I'm going to go pop back in our truck and take us over the salt mine, and here we go.
Are you gonna tell me where you went? All the messages I sent with no reply. It's like that. You're just gonna walk into my room. I hate how you assume I'll take the pleasure and the pain, the sorrows in your brain, 'cause I know you're on the run. I'll take the pleasure and the pain, your secrets to my grave.
All right, I'm pulling into the main farm with what I think is going to be our last load of salt for a good long time. Man, oh man, did we move product during this project. When I mine, I like to incorporate other trips. And I've done a ton of that as we mine this salt. I'm just going to top off the nut house here. Shouldn't take much because I've already delivered some here, but let's just put a little smidge, a little pinch of salt into the nut house. That is fully loaded. We've got our fertilizer factory straight ahead. That makes salt water as well. And I just topped that off recently too, but while I've got this truck full of salt, let's just put a pinch of salt into that, and then we'll see where everything stands. The rest of this obviously is going to go into our farm silo towards our 10 million liter objectives. I think we're going to meet it once we deliver it. Let's just drop a pinch of salt here. That is fully topped off. I topped off the dairy. I topped off the fermenting house with salt. And then I delivered a bunch of salt over to the train station. And we'll take that salt over to like the cran plant. I think it's used in making Play-Doh. So there's about 700,000 liters of salt, I think, in our train silo. We'll have to haul that over kind of to where the stone processing is. But let's dump this load and then we'll see where things stand. In fact, while that's going, let's look at the production lines. So here we are in the production lines. Let's take a look at all the things that take salt. The bakery, does the bakery take salt? It does. That is fully topped off. So the bakery's got 1 million salt. That should last us a good long time. Cran factory, like I mentioned, it's got 534,000 liters. But we have more than 700,000 liters, I think, ready to be trained over there. And we'll start filling this up. We're not using the salt yet. I don't think so. I think it's only used to make this like Play-Doh. And we haven't started that yet. The last ingredient we're going to need is the coconut oil. We don't have an oil press yet. We are making flour. That's something we haven't brought over anyway. So we've got salt there. The dairy, we should have this topped off too. There it is. Salt topped off just about 100%. Drying mill doesn't need salt. Fermenting house does. This has been topped off. About 1 million liters there. I think salt is used in like sauerkraut. And that's it. So this should last. That salt, hopefully that salt will last a long time. We won't have to refill the fermenting house for a while. What about the dairy? What uses salt here? These dairy products all use salt. Chocolate doesn't, and peanut butter does. Okay, what else we have? Fertilizer plant, like I said, salt water uses up a fair amount of salt. That is now topped off. Greenhouse doesn't. Greenhouses don't. Henhouse, nope. Nut house does. We just topped that off a second ago. I think that's it for now. Of everybody that uses salt. These guys don't. The drinks don't. Yeah, so not bad. Look, how do we do on our 10 million liter objective? Let's take a look. Check it out. It's the #1 item. Salt. 10 million liters. So we've got three things knocked off. 3 out of about 300 knocked off where we've saved up 10 million liters. Sand is getting close. And that's about it. Silt, if you look down, it's about 8 items down, 8 or 9 items down. That is down to 2.8 million. I started taking silt that we had saved up in here and just pushing it over into the fertilizer plant. In fact, we'll do that right now too. Let's load this up with silt. We may as well have the fertilizer plant process the silt we've saved up so far to make dry and liquid fertilizer. And then we'll just, when we get back to mining silt, we can refill our stores. We need 10 million liters of that, but we may as well have this fertilizer factory running until we get 10 million liters of liquid and solid fertilizer. So let that go. Or unload this. We need to put some maintenance on the truck here and maybe give it a fill up and a power wash. And then we should go check the status of our huge field, our biggest field. You'll notice the time is set to half speed. I can put that back on full speed. Man, we did a ton of hauling. I brought a bunch of straw, well over 1 million liters of straw from our newest big field. and put that into the new compost factory that we built kind of earlier on in the episode. We can take a look at that too in a second. We'll see how much got delivered. And then I also brought in a ton of grass, well over, I'm not sure if it was 1,000,000 liters or not. Somewhere close to 1,000,000 liters of grass was brought in over by field 10, which is where we planted potatoes not too long ago. All right, this guy is all maintenanced up. Let's refuel. And give this guy a power wash, and then yeah, then we'll take a look at what did I want to see? I wanted to see the new compost factory, how much straw that thing has in it. And we can check out the fertilizer factory to see how much silt we put in. Oops, let's stop by this little gas tank. Diesel tank, I should say. Get this guy filled up. We've got 350 hours on this truck, and this is our second truck. I think I put 160 hours on the first one that we got rid of. This one does a much better job getting over the railroad tracks than the in-game one. Boom. Push this guy off. Get our truck and trailer ready for the next job. It'll be next episode. We got lots to do. We have a lot to do next episode. But let's get this guy clean for now. Trailer's looking pretty good. Truck is starting to shed all of its dirt here. Just take a look at the front. Yeah, it's looking better. Much better. We got some paint chips and things. Eventually we'll have to take this in for a repaint. All right, that's that. Back to the production lines. Let's take a look at the fertilizer factory. Boom. So yeah, I managed to bring about almost 1.5 million liters, well, 1.4 million liters of silt into the fertilizer factory. You can see that's being processed into solid and liquid fertilizer. How are we doing on water? Tons of water. So that all looks good. Eventually we'll get around to bringing more potatoes in here and producing more herbicide. We wanted to look at that. And then the other one was what? The composters. This, I'm not even sure now. This one with the clover. This must be the one at the main farm. Yeah, this guy's got a bunch of compost waiting. This one's got almost 1.2 million. And then this is our new one over by the Wonderworm, I believe. Yeah, this guy's got 1.2 million straw. So we're going to have so much straw. Our field, let's see. This guy over here, 31. This thing, when we harvested the wheat off of here, we've got more than 10 million liters of straw off of this. So we're going to have a ton of straw. We'll have to see what to do. We may add another composter over by the Wonderworm. We can sell compost to the Wonderworm at a pretty good price. And the composter gives me 2 units of compost for every unit of straw I feed in. But there's no way even 2 composters are going to keep up with all the straw we're going to be producing. So we could add another one, or we might just sell off the extra straw. This here, not the woodworks, but there's a spinnery we can sell. That's the highest price for straw. That's not a huge drive, but it's not much. One full truckload of straw is like $4,000 or something. But maybe we can incorporate some trips to get rid of straw that way. Compost we can sell at the Wonderworm, and compost I think is also going to be used when we get into doing the fish and fish processing. So what else in here? We're almost done with our field. Turning over field 31. We need to get a roller on that. We'll do that next episode, maybe first thing. But let's look at the growth stages. We're on the last day of the month, by the way. I think it's March 5th. So I think next game day, field 26, which is wheat, another wheat field. I think that one's going to come up and we're going to be able to start harvesting that. We should know, it might not be next episode, but the next game, I think we can get one more episode out of this game day, March 5th. But that'll be the next field we start harvesting. And the next bit of field work we have to do, like I said, I think we have to get a roller on this field. We still have our helper plowing and mulching. Let's go tab over to that guy, see how he's doing. He's got several more, about a dozen more rows, I'd say. Yeah, about a dozen more rows to complete his job. And then we've got a helper waiting behind him. Right here, getting ready to finish seeding. I'm probably going to wait till the plow just gets done. If the sugar beets here end up growing later, taking an extra game day or something to grow, it's not going to matter because we have so many already that are going to need to be harvested, and that's going to take forever. It's fine if these get planted a little bit later, I think. I just don't want this planter running into our plow since that's slow. We got it all fertilized. We got all the straw off of this field. Like I said, it was more than 10 million. In fact, I think that farm silo straight ahead, I believe that still has like 8 or 9 million in there. In fact, we can find out. These guys, these are our other helpers. They need a wash. They're done. Let's see how much straw is sitting in here. We have a bunch of wheat in here too. Oh, is it going to show us? Yeah. Straw, yeah. 8.2 million liters of straw left. And that's after I've taken out like 3 million liters. And we've got 1.6 million liters of wheat that we can turn into flour or feed our chickens with. So we'll burn through that. And then we've got a sugar beet crop kind of on its way. What else do we want to do before we call it an episode? I guess that is it. Yeah, next episode, I think we're going to be spending some time over here. I'm going to try to get the apartment building placed if we can do it. And get it loaded up with whatever the ingredients are that we need to start recruiting people. And then shortly after that, I don't know if it'll be next episode or not, I'd like to buy land out here. This is a big old coal pit, or a big deposit of coal. And buy this land and get a couple power plants, 1 or 2, maybe start out with 1 coal power plant, get that thing filled up. There's trees in here we're going to have to cut down. It's going to be a little bit of a headache to get it started, I think. But once we have power and once we have that apartment building placed and filled up, then that's going to open up a bunch more businesses to us that take people. In fact, the bakery, we saw this before, but we'll look one more time. I think some of the products coming out of the bakery actually require people, yeah. See, pasta that takes 3 people for every 100 pasta. So we'll see what's involved in producing people. I imagine in using the production revamp mod, which I have installed, we can just set people to be change the output mode to actually distribute people instead of store them, because I don't know how I can haul them. But yeah, that's going to open up a bunch more products to us. And then we might want to get a load of milk out here. Because this guy doesn't have milk, doesn't have yeast, doesn't have butter. Our dairy is lagging. Dairy is kind of holding us back a bit. We have oats planted. Eventually we'll harvest those. They're still early on. But yeah, I think we'll call it an episode here. For now, this is Glidercat saying thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoy this series on Angel Mountain. If you do, please remember to hit that like button. That'll help my tiny channel survive and hopefully grow. And with that, I'll see you all in the next episode.